Hello, welcome once again. This is Mohammed Al-Saidi from MSAIDI'S Visualizers, and today's tutorial will be about using the After Effects particle effector or particle world CC template. So I'll start off here by creating a new composition, and I'll call it particle effector. Alright, 1920 by 1080, 60 FPS, and with 50 seconds. We'll just make it a 50-second. Alright, so here I'll start off just by creating a new layer, a new solid, CCPE particle world effector. And yeah, I'll just make it a blue layer, and I'll head to my effects and presets tab over here, and I'll just get out my gradient ramp, and I'll make it a radial ramp and a green. I'll make it a green. Yep, this seems pretty good. So this is just the background that I'll be creating my particles on. So this really doesn't matter, of course. You can choose any color you want. It's just this is just to show you how you can how the particle world or particles in the template behave, and how you can adjust them to your liking, adjust their actions and motions to your liking. So we'll head to After Effects and Presets and go to CC Particle World. Of course, you can find this under Effect, Simulation, and CC Particle World. So what you can just do is just add this onto this composition, and if we zoom in, pretty much you can see the actual lines or the particles. But in the beginning, they're not so seen until we play around, of course, with the values. So we can already start bring out some birth rates. So this is the birth rate slider producer of the particles, and of course you can play around with so many settings down here in the birth rate producer. And of course, all of these, anything to do with the particle world, has keyframes next to them, so you can adjust the growth or the amount spreading out, the diversity of the particles around, etc. And of course also the colors. You can, the birth color and the death color, you can keyframe them. You got next up the longevity per seconds slider here. You got the producer, which you can choose where you want to start of the particles to start. You got the XYZ radius and XYZ positioning, and you do get drop-down menus for each and every one of these if you want to go to like full detail with the positioning of these particles. So we'll just make them back to the middle, and under the particle world here you get, of course, again this producer, there's birth rate, all of these options. You get physics, the velocity of the particles, the gravity. So this is, sorry, After Effects is a little buggy. And so as you can see here, the tilting and stuff, this is what the gravity adjusts. The resistance, so if you play through, you can see. So I'm just going to quickly make it a half, so the play is quite faster. So this is what the animation consists of currently. We're not going to be animating because that is just a desirable action. You can do it by yourself. I'll just be discussing the kind of options that you get with it. So you got the floor options, the floor positioning, where you want to keep the floor, and so where the particles will end, etc. The extra angles, the angle randomness, all of these options that you get. Of course, you also get the animation under the physics, the animation explosive. You get all of these jet, vortex, twirly, twirl, jet sideways, cone axis, direction axis. All of these animations that you can choose how the formation of the particles will look like in the end. So as you can see, the direction axis looks like this. The cone axis looks like a cone. The jet sideways. And again, if I scrub through with my playhead here, you can see how the animation will kind of be shaped like a vortex, a fire. What the fire? The fire would look like this, and it'll just spread out and change in color as we will be showing. We're discussing the death color and the birth color. So I think we could just bring down the birth rate a little bit, and the velocity. All right. So again, let's come back here to the animation, and yeah, so you get this like a variety of animation, settings that you can choose from the physics tab. Of course, down here you get to control every single part and action that the particle world will create, the particle effector will create, and of course you numerically adjust them or using sliders. Yep. So this is the physics. This is the physics part of the effects control, and you of course here the particle type. This instead of just the animation type, here you can get down to the actual type of the particle itself. So you get a star, faded spheres, bubbles, all these different kind of particles, cubes. This one's a really good one. Textured tri-polygon, textured quad polygon. These ones you cannot see. A tri-polygon. Yep, this one. This one's a really good one as well. And you can adjust their rotation axis or any axis, so they're all just random axis that they're rotating about. You can adjust the birth size and the death size, so the depth of the actual. So here we got to the depth, since we have scrubbed through a little bit of the animation. So there's a depth size. Since we set the depth color to the red, so of course the depth size is being adjusted for the red triangles that we're playing with. Size variation. This is also like a random effector, and the opacity of the layer, the opacity of the particles, and under particles, you also get, now again, the birth color, and this is like the most important part. This is how you want to shape the color of the particles themselves. So you can, of course, here you can create them whatever color you want. For example, a white and a blue. And then now here you can see that the birth size and the death size changes. Now you can kind of relate more to what I was talking about. Yep, so that is pretty much it. And of course, again, you can work around your ideas with these stopwatches, indicating that they can all be keyframed. Basically, anything to do with the actions or the colors or the style of your particles can be animated. They got these stopwatches next to them to represent that they can be animated. You get the random seed, how it will be randomized, as you can see here if you scrub through it. And you got effect camera, FOV. You can adjust the FOV, the field of view of how the particles are being viewed, the rotation, as you can see here. And now again, you can of course keyframe this. So if I was changing around this rotation Y, then I can just do this, and now I made myself a quick animation, as you can see. So we went like this. So yeah, and also here it indicates using this cube with the X, Y, Z options, rotation options. You can see here it follows what the cube is asking, and you can, when you hover around the cube, you get this rotation button that also not only numerically shows you how you can rotate around, but of course visually. And yep, you got the distance slider. And yeah, so you can see that this one also you can use it as a keyframe, so we can head right onto the particles if we're going to create a keyframe about it. So we're making the rotation and we're zooming in at the same time. So as you can see, you can be really creative with these under here in these options that you get with the CC particle world particles, depth Q, the random seed again, and yeah. That is pretty much it about the particle world tool in After Effects. I hope you like this video. We will be definitely using this particle world template with our audio spectrum, with our upcoming audio spectrums that we will be creating. And hope you liked this video and it helped you. So thank you very much. This was Mohammed Al Saidi from MSAIDI'S Visualizers, and see you on the next one.